Well, good morning from rain-soaked North Carolina. Um, we've had I don't want to say rough time. Um, it could have been much, much, much worse. I'm like a couple hundred miles inland from the coast, so all we've gotten really is rain, rain, and more rain, and the wind gusts, to 30 miles an hour. So certainly it could have been a lot worse. But yesterday and during the week, I pretty much just decided to um, get things tidied up around the house in case it did get really, really bad. Clean the gutters, dug uh, some ditches and stuff to try to get water to run off from around the shop. This side of the shop here is actually about 2 feet under grade, and there's no gutters on the shop, so the water runs off. Excuse me, the water runs off, and it just goes around follows the landscape of the yard. But when it rains, a lot, sometimes the shop will flood. So, we got, I'm going to say I don't want to say very lucky, but we got lucky. So far, we've received 4 inches of rain in the last, I don't know, 2.5 days, I reckon. It hasn't let up. We'd have squalls come in, it'd dump a bunch of rain at a rate of about 2 inches an hour, and then it would go to a slight pitter patter. It's probably raining. I have the shop door open, so that tells you the wind's not blowing. It's probably raining about a 1/4 inch an hour now, but it hasn't let up in the last 3 days. If you follow Tom Zellickman or Inspiration Metalworks, he lives much closer to the coast than I do. I'm not exactly sure where. I'm pretty sure it's on the other side of Raleigh. So his flooding pictures are much more. His water table is not near what we have here. I have a creek, a pretty good sized creek that's right down the road, and it floods quite often. It comes out of its banks, never goes over the road, but it's not even to that point yet. But it's probably going to happen because the rain, once the hurricane turns and moves more up between Charlotte and the mountains, that band of rain that's now in South Carolina will head right over us, and probably the next day. At least the next 24 hours, I'd say, is what they're calling for. So we're still going to get wet. But I didn't want to come out to the shop, do a lot of other stuff. And I got a little board in the house, so I said, I'm going to go out to the shop. So we're out here in the shop, just looking over things. Everything looks good. No leaks, no water coming in anywhere. Everything's looking good. And I wanted to really get to filming putting the apron back together, and like everything's done, painted. I mean, everything's looking really good. Have all the bearing surfaces and all the bearings ready to go. It's got dust on it now, but everything's looking really, really, really good. So I might film that today. I didn't have time to do anything last week because we knew this hurricane was coming, and the hurricanes in the past, we know, like Hugo, if you're old enough to remember when Hugo come through here, it came pretty fast. It come up through Charleston, was in New York in a day. And it created havoc here. Trees down, power lines down, it was ridiculous. I'm on the local fire department here, and just listening to the radios, there's quite a few power lines down. Most of that's been knocked down because of trees knocking them down. Our neighboring department, matter of fact, is on a grass fire right now, and with 4 inches of rain, I'm sure it's because of a power line down. So, they won't be able to do nothing there. Let's see, what else? So we're just hanging in the shop. That's what we're doing. I like doing these Sunday morning hangouts. So it'd be nice, I envision, doing just a live hangout where everybody, can ask questions and stuff like that. This software, like I said, we can take quite a few callers. And once it gets to that point, I'll definitely upgrade this computer so we can do that. I just like that interaction. I like the structured videos too, don't get me wrong. So I like doing that. What's been going on this week? Work-wise, busy. We're doing major software upgrades to all of our calibration stuff there. Been involved with a lot of that. I went to the South Carolina Manufacturing Show, Tuesday, right when the hurricane was coming on. And the show was, it wasn't very there wasn't many participants. The vendors and stuff were there, and it's more like lean manufacturing, a lot of Six Sigma stuff and stuff like that. One of the vendors I needed to talk to was there, and that was the main reason I went down there, was to talk to them about doing some of our software upgrades. And then work's been super busy. I switched shifts next week, so they've been reluctant to let me go to the shift that I'm supposed to be on, but I'll be there next week. But that'll give me more time here in the home shop, so it'll give me less time with my wife, though. So there's, downsides to everything, I reckon. So what else? Oh, I bid on a couple of milling machines, and it happened the auction was going on during work, and something I got to close to my max bid, and I had to step away from the office for a little bit, and when I came back in, that part was over, and it was $100 over my maximum bid, and I was like, golly, if I hung up more, maybe we'd have had a new mill. It's just a Trump or a Bridgeport clone. So, but I have got a line on another Sydney lathe, so it goes for auction next week or the week after, and it's huge. It's big. It's I don't know if I need it, but if the price is right, it's going to take a special person to buy that one. So, and I kind of like it. So, I fell in love with this Sydney lathe, and this one's huge. I'm just going to say it's huge. So, it'll cost probably more to move it than it did to buy it. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that this week, or I think it's next week, or week after next. I'm sorry. So we'll keep an eye on that one. What else? I think that's it. We plan on, getting this done and getting. I'm going to go ahead and wire a 3-phase box up on the wall over there, and then get Duke Power, or our power company, I shouldn't say Duke, Duke Energy, to come look at it and give me my options, whether to change my service out to a 3-phase service if it's possible, or go ahead and get the rotary phase converter. So either way, I have to have that. So, and it's getting to the point I really need to get it done. So I'm going to go ahead and get the box, put it up, get it wired. And either way, I'm either have to get wires running from the meter base from Duke Power, or I'm going to have to get wires running to the panel from the phase converter. So either way, that box has got to be here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. We have plenty of plans. Gantry cranes come. We have to build it. If I'd have got to the steel supplier, hang on a minute. Listen what this is. All the county fire departments have been busy, and most of us are all volunteers. So another tree and a power line. So not in our district though. So what was we? Oh, the not jib crane, the gantry crane. We're definitely got to build that. There's just so much we have to do here. So if I'd have known, I went to the steel supplier last week, and I was fully expecting us not to have power. So, and it still might happen. Hopefully not. Fingers are crossed. So we got to get that done. But we could have built that over the weekend. I don't know if my brother's bored to death, but I'm sure he'd probably rather be welding or out of the house for a little while anyway. Let's put it that way. So there's plenty of stuff to do. So we're going to do the gantry crane. I could go ahead and get all that designed up. I need to build I want to build a hydraulic press, one that's not built for a midget. I'm 6'3", and the older I get, I do not like bending over. So we're going to build it. I don't care if the jack's up at the ceiling height. I want where you put your parts at, at chest to belly button level. I don't want it at my knees. It'll be adjustable down there, but most of your work's going to take place at your 40-inch height. It's just not. I don't like that stuff that's built low. This table here is built high. I don't know the exact measurement of it. I have a tape measure. I'll find out. But it's 36 or better. So it's dead nuts 36. So truthfully, I probably could have stand another inch or two on it, And that just when you're bending over the whole time, it's just rough on your back. So I think that's it. That's our Sunday for today. It looks like the rain's coming down a little harder. We must be having another band. And the wind is, I don't know. I'd say 10 to 15 miles an hour here. And I hope that's as much as it does get. I hate to see anybody, lose anything to this. The people out on the coast have got it rough. I have a buddy of mine who's a fireman in Leland, which is right on the coast, right near Wrightsville Beach, and he showed some video last night, and they got it rough. The Outer Banks it came in. The Outer Banks is not too bad because it's farther north, but the Wilmington, Myrtle Beach area, I haven't seen any video from the Myrtle Beach area yet. But I think it came ashore less devastating than they anticipated, but the flooding is what's going to get everything now. I mean, it's just sat over North and South Carolina for the last 3 days, and it probably still won't be out of here by tomorrow. So, our prayers with everybody that's down there has to go through this. So let's see. I think that's it. So y'all stay safe, stay dry, and we'll get this filming done, hopefully, and we'll have that posted on Friday at our regular time. Hopefully that thing will be all together. And then we can start on the, we either got to put the gearbox in the parts washer or we need to put the tailstock in the parts washer. So probably the gearbox, get it all cleaned up. And then we'll go from there. We'll start, we might start assembling some of the stuff. We got to get the gantry crew in bit first, so that's probably first on the list. Anyway, y'all have a great Sunday. Stay safe.